Le Nova Club, on est avec Jeff Mills et on est très content. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good.
The recurrent question is, how is your level in French? Is it improving?
Because you
quite
live there.
Yeah.
Quite.
You know something? I have to learn. I'm going to learn. I'm going to take some lessons.
Okay.
Soon, this year maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the same about my English accent. I say now maybe I need to have a better accent.
No, it's okay. You have a. It has a twang to it.
Thank you.
C'est le charme du franglais.
You still live in France?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In Paris?
Yeah, like 12 years now, I think.
Okay.
Something like
Okay.
that. 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here, and it's loving it maybe even more because you settle in and you know where things are, and yeah, you get used to it.
Do you have a reason why you choose France more than any other place?
Yeah, because it's. I mean, from the outside, as an American, it is the most. From what I can see, it's the most comfortable place for living.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily work, but living. It has everything that you can ask for.
Comfortable in what way?
I'm attracted to culture, and so not only is it here on all levels, but in a lot of places. At a certain age, you get kind of pushed out of culture, because senior citizens, are not thought about, But here, as you get older, you're still able to experience a lot of things because it's possible, and so you can grow old with creativity, and that's just you can't do that in a lot of places. So.
C'est la magie de Paris où il est installé depuis 13 ans maintenant.
La France.
La magie de la France, effectivement, mais on peut dire qu'il habite à Paris, où la culture est particulièrement, et ça c'est très parisien, où la culture est particulièrement accessible et accessible aussi quand on vieillit, donc on peut profiter, lui c'est un amoureux de la culture et il peut en profiter à tout moment.
Do you remember the first time you came to Paris?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the first time I came directly from the airport to a radio station. Not this one,
FG?
But FG. And immediately into a DJ set.
With Laurent? Was it at the Rex Club? You remember that?
No, I don't remember the first time, but later on that night, I think I had like an hour or two to sleep, and then there was a party in a castle.
Oh, okay. Was it
a rave? It was a rave
yeah.
in a castle, and then. Yeah, and that was my first, and then the Rex came a little bit later after I began to meet people, and connect with people and find out what the Rex was and all this, and
And now you've been like how many times at the Rex Club?
A zillion one time.
Je le fais rapide, hein, il est venu, il se rappelle, au début des années 90, il est direct allé à une station de radio, qui en l'occurrence était FG, et après il a joué dans une rêve, dans un château. Were you part of the underground resistance show at the Rennes, at the Transmusical of Rennes, when you all masked? Were you part?
No, I left.
It was 92 or 93, something like that.
That might have been 93. I left like 90, around mid 92.
Okay.
And I was in New York at the time, but I heard that they had put together a larger band, and they were traveling. They went to Australia and to some other places. So I heard about it.
It was quite a shock to see the show, the fact that we're all masked.
Yeah, I mean, it was an idea that Mike and I had thought that, we're going to take our faces away from this, and so that you would only just concentrate on music. And
Je lui demandais s'il était, parce qu'il est très, très connu, hein. C'était une rêve au Transmusical de Rennes, et on avait découvert Underground Resistance à l'époque, et ils étaient tous masqués sur scène, et ils haranguaient les gens comme ça, de manière assez express, et je lui demandais, non, en fait, il venait de quitter le groupe. Il est là notamment, parce qu'on va en parler, il est là pour un festival de jazz auquel il va jouer, qui est Jazz à Vienne, Vienne en France, en l'occurrence, ça sera du 25 juin au 11 juillet. You already played at this jazz festival in Vienne?
Yeah. We did maybe one or 2 years ago, and it was really, really, really nice. Very, very nice festival.
You played with a band?
Yes. Tomorrow Comes the Harvest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you will play with them?
Correct. Yeah, a different formation. I think. So it's a quartet.
Okay.
For that, yeah.
Donc il sera avec le même quartet qui s'appelle Harvest. What's the name again? The name of the quartet?
Tomorrow Comes the Harvest.
Tomorrow Comes the Harvest.
Yeah.
Et donc il va le refaire, donc ce jazz à Vienne, la deuxième fois. On parlait hors antenne et on s'est dit tiens on va ouvrir le micro parce que c'est dommage. On se demandait parce qu'il va faire les disques de sa vie et à la base il avait été question qu'il fasse une sélection que de musique jazz et puis comme on lui a dit ce qu'on fait régulièrement de faire les disques de sa vie, il dit quand j'étais petit j'écoutais pas de jazz. Or depuis moi, et c'est à peu près le même et un peu plus âgé que moi mais à peu près la même génération, c'est vrai que dans les années 80 on était très intimidés par le jazz et j'ai vu que le jazz a quand même vraiment changé de registre. Clairement, entre à Londres notamment, ou quand on reçoit un Kamasi Washington, ou quand on reçoit des gens comme ça.
Même Thundercat, on en avait parlé, il y avait beaucoup de jeunes à son concert.
Yeah, we were saying off the air, and now we can talk about it on the air, that jazz changed from my point of view, at least. We have much younger people interested in jazz, maybe thanks to the English artists that were really into it, like Kamal Williams or things like that, or Kamasi Washington, or Thundercat that we had on the show. And it seems that it's much more popular now than it was in the 80s when we were 15 or 20 years ago. 20 years.
Yeah, I think maybe it has to be music in general. Maybe all genres are more popular because of the internet and the web and more access and information and distribution and mail order. And so it's more accessible. When I was young, a jazz album was something that was it's very kind of expensive, but it wasn't on every corner shop. You had to go to a certain maybe a department store.
And it looks like adult music.
It was adult music, and but as a kid we had our own stuff. We had our own things. So we had enough of that too. Jackson 5.
Yeah, but we're gonna start with the Jackson 5. Juste, oui, il dit, je suis totalement d'accord avec lui, que c'est encore une fois Internet qui a véritablement changé, donnant une accessibilité, peut-être aussi une horizontalité à la musique, qui fait que tu voyais pas trop les distinctions et que tu pouvais d'un coup te passionner pour des disques qui auraient pu, à l'époque, nous paraître beaucoup plus intimidants. Il y avait peut-être aussi plus de choses modernes qui se passaient. Maybe also we were, and typically like that, we were looking for the 2000 years and looking to the future more than what the internet created, was also to go back into the past and to be lost in the past in a way. In the 80s, we were all looking forward to something fresh and new.
Mostly, yeah. It was we were looking forward to the turn of the century, and we were constantly being reminded about technology.
C'est ça, oui. Le regard était pointé vers l'avenir et moins vers le passé. Et de toute façon, tout nous ramenait vers la technologie. But just at one point, did you feel the connection between jazz and techno? It seems that underground resistance and the Detroit scene was really the one that made the connection.
Well, I mean.
But if you said to somebody in the early 90s, jazz and techno is the same thing, people will have to tell you, oh, what are you saying?
Yeah, in our youth, jazz was, and if you were involved with music in grade school, and junior high and high school, jazz was the format that your band in high school would play. Not so much popular music, but actually jazz, and that's because most of the instructors were actually jazz musicians that just took a normal 9-to-5 job and became a teacher, and so their influence, was brought upon us. My instructor in high school was a saxophone player with the Duke Ellington Orchestra.
Okay.
So that's.
And did you have a jazz band in high school?
Did I have a?
Did you have a jazz band in high school?
Yeah, I was in a few jazz bands during school and after school. Outside of school, and we used to try to play, stuff like Stanley Clark's, School Days and album and all this, and Steely Dan and Return to Forever, and this is what we were listening to in high school.
Alors il dit qu'évidemment les profs étaient souvent des gens qui venaient du jazz, donc c'était ça, et il avait son propre petit groupe de jazz. But though, if you were saying we were into machine, computers, samplers and everything, which is the antithesis on the paper, the antithesis of jazz and real musician. For a long time, techno was not considered, as even in France, as a real music. You know?
Yeah, it was the distribution of cheaper instruments, because before then you would have synclaviers and all these very expensive things that you would only find in a recording studio. And music shops began to have these cheaper pieces of equipment, like Radio Shack finally got like a little small mixer that you could buy for $30, things like that. And so as they got cheaper, we got our hands on these things, drum machines and this was all kind of happening. That and this connection with technology and this forecast of the future, all this stuff was kind of happening at the same time. Early '80s to the late '80s, and this and you turn on the TV and there would be at least maybe the majority of the newscasts would be about things about the future. There was no escape from it, and also with that, the fear about the future as well was always there too. So dystopian type of what's going to happen after the year 2000, and it was a very interesting time to be caught up in that in this time of the century.
Tu me regardes, tu vas la traduire là? Tu me regardes?
Vas-y, je t'en prie.
Non, je comptais sur toi.
À la fois, il y avait en fait les années 80, c'est un moment où les images sont saturées de choses sur le futur, à la fois dans un côté utopique, parce qu'on regarde vers l'avenir, mais à la fois dans un côté dystopique aussi, dans la peur de ce que ça représente.
And one last question about that. But when did you realize that early 70s Herbie Hancock music was kind of techno too? Or did you knew that all the time, or you realize at one point,
it was the track Rocket.
In the 80s or so.
Yeah.
But you have kind of acid stuff even in the 70s in Herbie Hancock music.
Yeah, but it wasn't, it wasn't as, for like a young kid, it wasn't, I mean, when you went to the corner store, it wasn't Herbie Hancock that was in the 45 rack. It was Joe Tex, James Brown, Jackson 5, the Silvers, children, the Osmonds, children's bands.
So at what age did you realize? That's what I was asking. Maybe at 20 years old or 25, you look back to some jazz record of the 70s and say, oh, there's a connection, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to jazz in high school, and typically the last 2 years, 11th, 12th grade, if you're involved with music, you're going to fall into fusion, rock, fusion, jazz. And so it's there you really begin to, your eyes are really open, your ears and eyes are really open to mastering the instrument and playing in a way that it goes beyond, expectations. And so it was those years, and shortly after that you really begin to not listen, but you really study music and study the bass player and study Jaco and study, and so those were really important times, because you had this music in the city, but then you had a lot of people that were also connected to that, because it's Detroit and Motown, and musicians are always everywhere all the time. And so you could have these conversations, and you knew someone that played, James Jamerson and Motown, and, you could. So it was a special city for this handing down information. So it's not surprising that you would have Detroit techno, because of the way that we were growing up in the city.
Il dit qu'au moment où on commence vraiment à travailler la musique à high school, donc ça veut dire quoi?
Les
au
dernières
lycée.
années du lycée.
Ouais, c'est ça, aux dernières années du lycée, là vraiment tu fais une connexion avec le passé, et notamment quand tu te mets à travailler des instruments. Alors que quand tu es petit, même à Détroit, ce qu'on te propose sont des groupes pour les gamins, les Osmonds, ou par exemple les Jackson 5. Bah évidemment, vous les avez reconnus, les Jackson 5, I Want You Back, à la fin des années 60. So, I guess all, not only Detroit kids, all America kids were into the Jackson 5.
Yeah, but it was much more special in Detroit because that's where it was recorded on at Motown Studio, you know, on this boulevard that everybody knew, and so on Motown, you know, which was, you know, the home label.
You knew that since you grew up, since you born, you knew that Motown is a place. Yeah. Okay. Everybody knows that.
It's always been there. Always, and it's and now it's. I mean, it's even. It's still amazing to think about how many hits and how much music was made in this little room in this house. You know, and what they were doing is
because
incredible.
It's small. I don't know the place. It's a small place.
It's a house, and in the back of the house, it's like a not even a big room. It's like a maybe not too large, you know, not too larger than this,
Okay.
And there's a control booth, this famous control booth where this old mixing console was, and that's it. And the microphones were stringed through the drywall and dropped down. And that's where Stevie Wonder recorded all this, and Marvin Gaye, and Four Tops, and Temptations. All these people recorded in this small room. And ABC, you know, Jackson 5, and... you know, it's still there.
They preserved it. They didn't.
Yeah, it's preserved. You can take a tour of it, and if you can get a ticket, it's sold out all the time. But it's incredible. Yeah.
Il dit qu'évidemment, comme il était, je lui dis, tous les gamins américains dansaient sur les Jackson 5, mais quand tu es de Détroit, là où il est né, bah, ça avait une importance particulière parce que c'était la Motown. La Motown, c'était Detroit, et il nous racontait quand même que le studio de la Motown était à peine plus grand que le studio de radio, où on est là présentement, et s'imaginer que dans aussi peu de mètres carrés, on ait pu faire aussi bien les Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, les Jackson 5, tout ça est dingue, et c'est vrai que c'est assez dingue. Il dit d'ailleurs que ça peut se visiter. Do you feel, Juan Elkins was telling us that the fact that Berry Gordy moved to LA was a treason. What do you say? Treason?
Betrayal.
Yeah,
Betrayal.
Yeah, that's a controversy. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are still heartbroken. It sounds like Juan is still heartbroken about that. I mean,
You are heartbroken?
I'm not heartbroken.
Okay.
I mean, because I understand that, you know, what you're doing can become so popular and so big, and they had a wish to get into film and Hollywood. You know, you have to go there.
You never lived in LA.
Yeah, you have to go to
You never lived in LA.
I wanted to in the 80s for a hot second there. I was thinking about it.
But you choose New York.
Yeah, I chose New York. Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like between the two.
Yeah,
I was being invited out to LA to do a party at the Mayan Club downtown LA, and the more I came out, the more I liked it. You know, and I think it's exciting. You know, all these you know Hollywood and you know actors and you know the fantasy of it and the history. I think I'm fascinated by.
But New York is as fascinating. Is as fascinating as LA.
But maybe less glamorous.
But it's better. New York, it's better. The culture is better.
Well, I'm fascinated by places that have a niche industry that goes on and affects the world. So, for instance, like I live in Florida now, but I'm always interested in going up to Cape Canaveral and NASA because it's a small little community, but they do big things, right? So this is where SpaceX and all these companies are, and it affects the community. So certain streets are named after astronauts, and grade schools are named after engineers and things like that. And Detroit is no different. I mean, it's a city that, in this little house, you have these big international hits, and it just takes over. It takes over the whole city. It becomes part of the mentality of the people in the city. So I'm fascinated with places like that. Hershey chocolate, Hershey, Pennsylvania. I'm fascinated with, you smell it on the highway. As closer you get to this, and you get there, it's like, Willy Wonka chocolate factory type of thing.
Comparé New York, LA et tout, lui ce qu'il préfère, c'est peut être ces endroits, mais il adore les petits endroits, et c'est typiquement le cas de la Motown, où de quelques mètres carrés, t'as fait quelque chose qui est connu et reconnu dans le monde entier. Et donc ça, c'est les choses qui attirent. Last thing about Motown, when they moved to LA, the music was not as good what they did in Detroit.
Well,
and they kind of missed the movie thing also.
Well, but they did a lot of things that were really inspiring and really influential. I mean, to get into film and to take these people that were international artists, musicians, and then move them onto the big screen, like Diana Ross.
But it was a failure. The Wiz, for example, was a box office failure.
Well, I mean, you're talking about creativity and, not being an obstacle of it, but letting it just run wild and run free. And so, I always think it's better to just let things run its course. And so obviously Berry Gordy and his team, they thought of much bigger things than just making music. And so in a way they really had to go. But in my opinion, they had done enough and created enough and done enough things as an example for people in Detroit to follow in those footsteps. And that's exactly what we did.
Alors, il dit que c'est pas grave, même si à LA c'était peut-être moins intéressant. De toute façon, il fallait que les choses se passent telles qu'elles se sont passées. Et ils ont laissé, je traduis à peu près, ils ont laissé un tel héritage à Detroit que c'était vraiment fondamental. When I was doing some research about Detroit, I was really surprised. I thought Detroit was in the top 10 city in America in terms of population, which is not the case at all. It's like 25 or something like that. I thought, I mean, so crazy the amount of music from hip hop to Motown to the techno thing, and it's much smaller than Chicago and New York and LA.
Yeah, it was the 7th largest city back in the 50s.
Okay.
When they
so
did
people moved away.
Or maybe the suburb is not included in the numbers I saw.
No, it's not. And the city was designed for 6 million people.
Okay.
So the streets were designed so that basically the landscape was created for that amount of people. And it was a very rich city because of the industrial and lots of resources in northern Michigan, things like that. And the automobile, of course, the automobile industry was part of that. And then, around the late 60s, early 70s, the city began to slide off and slide down.
So people left?
Many people left.
Many people left.
People left, and it went down to less than 1 million people.
Okay. Wow. From 6 million to 1 million?
Yeah.
Oh, it was designed for 6 million, or there was 6 million?
It was designed for 6 million,
and there was 6 million living.
Yeah.
So is it like
it went down
a ghost town now? Is it like a ghost town now?
No, actually,
no, it grew back.
Yeah, in a very short period of time, they got it together, and now it's like an almost completely different city. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I kind of moved back there.
You live everywhere. You say you live.
I know.
In Paris,
I live.
in Detroit.
I'm connecting all the time, and so but I'm spending a lot of time there.
Okay. I always say that when I somebody from Detroit, I always remember when Paul Verhoeven was doing the RoboCop movie. He said, "What's going to be the most violent and terrible city in the future is going to be Detroit," and this is why RoboCop is in Detroit.
Because
it was the case at the time.
I don't know. I don't know if Detroit was ever one of the favorite cities of the country.
You don't know if it was a favorite city?
Yeah,
What do
like
you
you know, like America, we have favorites. We have generally favorite cities
Okay.
for certain reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, New York, you know, the Big Apple, and Chicago, you know, the Windy City, and Detroit. I don't know.
Motor City.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, you know, yeah, the Motown, but it's a little bit different. It was one of the two cities that Black Americans came up from the South, and it was those two cities that really changed as a result of that.
Which one is the Detroit and
Chicago?
And Chicago.
Yeah, and so both big industrial age and you know architecture and design and but Detroit's a little bit different. Maybe it's closer to the border to Canada. And our mentality is a little bit different. We I don't know. It just seems like we tend to take more chances.
All the music guys I talk are a bit eccentric. Like we're gonna play George Clinton, Iggy Pop, or the Detroit guy.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, we have a certain way of approaching things. Not just music, but just our place, our space, our individual space. We tend to recognize every inch of that a little bit more, I guess.
Il dit qu'il y a quelque chose dans l'air à Détroit qui le rend différent. Bah tiens, c'est marrant parce que Ron Atkins nous avait choisi exactement le même morceau de quelqu'un qui est fondamental de la scène de Détroit, c'est Monsieur George Clinton.
Never missing a beat, yeah. Boy, was it neat, yeah. Not just knee deep, she was totally deep when she did the freak with me. Never missing a beat, yeah. Boy, was it neat, yeah. The girl's a freak, the girl never misses a beat, yeah, yeah, yeah. Not just knee deep, she was totally deep when she did the freak with me. It didn't work, no. It wasn't funky no more. Round and round, she's the freak of my desire. And when she does, she set the world on fire. The little girl's the freak of the week. When she does, she give me happy feet. Ooh, she's the freak of my desire. When she does, she set the world on fire. She give me happy feet. Ah, she's the freak of the week. Never missing a beat, yeah. Boy, was it neat, yeah. She was totally deep when she did the freak with me. It didn't work, no. Oh, no, not the most. Funky wasn't funky. But she was not just knee deep, she was totally deep when she did the freak with me, yeah.
C'est Parliament ou Funkadelic? Is it Funkadelic track or Parliament track? Funkadelic. It's Funkadelic, c'est ça?
Yeah, that was made in Detroit too.
I know.
United Studios.
It's a small place too.
Yeah, which is not far from Motown. All that. Yeah, that sound.
Josh Clinton is a Detroit hero.
Yes.
I was asking, is Michael Jackson a Detroit hero or is just
no?
Because
he's from Indiana. That's another state.
It was just doing music in Detroit, but living in Indiana.
You know, it seems like we define who is Detroit by what high school you went to.
Okay.
Oh.
If you didn't go to high school in Detroit, you're not really Detroit.
So Iggy Pop is a Detroit hero.
I think so. I think he went to and Bob Seger. I think also went to. I think he went to my high school. I think. That's generally the dividing line there. Yeah.
You know that Juan Atkins chose exactly the same track that you chose.
No, he did not. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay, wow.
And you were listening also, he talked a lot about Mojo, Electrifying Mojo. Mm-hmm. You did radio quite young.
I did radio for about 10 years.
On est avec Jeff Mills, au fait. Je le rappelle dans autre, sorry.
Yeah, I did radio. Yeah.
And you were listening also to Mojo? Was it before?
I was listening to Mojo before I did radio, and then while I was doing radio, because he was my competition. So we were put on at the same time.
Same time, late at night?
At night, yeah.
10 to 3, because I remember now.
That was my job, was to compete with him.
It was 10 to 3 a.m.?
I had two shows, from 10 to 11 and then 12 to 1.
Okay.
Every night.
Là, tu veux traduire un peu, peut-être, t'as raison.
Je reprends. Il était en fait, on a reçu Juan Atkins qui nous a parlé de l'influence de Mojo, qui avait son show radio, et justement, Jeff Mills avait un show concurrent. Il était chargé de lui faire concurrence sur les mêmes horaires, mais dans une radio autre.
So how did you compete with Mojo? Were you mixing records, maybe more?
I was very young and had never, even been to a radio station before. So I had to.
So how did you get the job first?
Audition.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to, in front of the programming director and music director, I had 5 minutes. No, not even 5, like 3 minutes to show what I can do.
In 3 minutes?
With 2 turntables.
So
and
as a DJ?
Yeah. And then they said, okay, let's just give him his own show. Mm-hmm. He can, so they gave me my own show.
But what did you do in 3 minutes?
No, you never saw DMC.
I didn't make any mistakes. That's for sure. I mean, I must have played 20 records in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was very precise at that time, so I could literally take 2 records and restructure the song.
You're still precise, no?
Just by hand, yeah. And so that gave them the idea that maybe not only a mix show, but he can do master mixes. So that was what I did during the day, and then at night I did my show.
You're a bit different from my point of view. Maybe I'm wrong. Than all the Detroit heroes of techno. That you're DJ. Most of them are not real DJ at first. They're more like producers. And you're really the DJ guy.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, even before radio, I was a heavy street DJ. So I was at 3 different clubs, and all types of parties, from wedding receptions, bar mitzvahs to, I did everything. And
how come? What was the inspiration for you?
Well, this is really the beginning of DJ culture, and so there weren't many of us, and so you were in high demand because if you were good, you could play any party, anything for older people, younger people, whatever the occasion.
We talk about early 80s, right?
Early 80s, yeah. So I was always booked. There wasn't a weekend that I was not working for years and years and years, and so by the time I got on the radio, I mean, I was, really skillful. I knew exactly what the people wanted to hear. And so, I had to create a way to compete with Mojo. And I would keep his radio station on in the next room. So I could do something, go to the next room to see if that had a reaction. and sometimes it did, and then I would go back and then answer that with what I was doing.
Okay.
It was that intense, and I would record his signal. If he had a record that I couldn't find, I would record his signal, remix it, and then play it as if I had the same record, but even a different version of it. I would bring in, rappers, and then eventually I brought in. I needed to have music that no one had, and so I went to a music store and bought synthesizer and drum machine and made it during the day, and then played it and mixed it from a reel to reel into the mixer, as if I had something that no one else had.
Okay, that's cool.
And so, so I got better at that because I had to get better. I mean, it had to sound like it was on Profile or it was on Casablanca, so I had to learn how to really copy this professional sound with, and so that kind of, made the bridge into composing music. And then when I stopped radio, I started,
Alors, il dit qu'il était en compétition avec Electrifying Mojo, donc ça c'est un sacré challenge quand même. Et carrément, il y avait une pièce, lui il faisait son émission dans une pièce, dans l'autre pièce il y avait le show de Mojo et il vérifiait toujours ce que Mojo jouait. Et si jamais Mojo jouait un disque qu'il n'avait pas, il enregistrait le disque de Mojo, il allait le rejouer. Et puis après, il a développé aussi le fait d'avoir des exclusivités. Et pour avoir des exclusivités, il a acheté ses propres machines, ses propres instruments et il a créé des disques qui devaient sonner aussi bien que des disques qui seraient sortis sur Casablanca Records ou des choses comme ça. Donc c'était vraiment une compétition non-stop. Were you a friend with Mojo, or it was like, with this young guy?
Well, yeah, we were friends. He tried to hire me away early on, and we met at a restaurant, and he said, I like what you're doing, and I want you to come work for me. And I didn't say no because this is Mojo, right? But I had my own show. I mean, they had given me my own show, so I said, okay, look, if you give me, some money and 2 turntables and something, I need to do turntables, I'll consider it. So he sent me these turntables, but I had time to think about it, and I decided not to go with him. But I kept the turntables just to make him upset and to intensify the rivalry. And so we battled for years.
Yeah. You're a bad boy.
I was young, and so we knew each other, not friends, but later after, like I talked to him, last conversation was about 3 hours on the phone, a few years ago.
Alors, il dit que Mojo a essayé de l'acheter, il lui a même offert des platines, mais il les a gardées. Mais il dit, bon, j'étais jeune, mais on est quand même restés potes. How come there was so many good radio shows in Detroit then? It's also a difference with, New York,
because
Chicago too.
Yeah. I mean, Detroit was one of the cities where they would, where radio would test new material. So the record labels would give advance copies to DJs like Mojo to literally break it on the air.
Even record company from New York and LA, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like Prince was one of the artists. Prince, as an example, was what Mojo had advance copies of. The Dirty Mind album and all these things. We were listening to these things much earlier than the rest of the country, and so Detroit was, for a lot of artists, including Prince, very important cities to break music, and radio was a large part of that.
Alors il dit il a cité l'exemple de Prince, ils avaient des copies en avance, bien en avance, c'est-à-dire plein de maisons de disques, les maisons de disques du monde, de tous les États-Unis testaient leurs nouveautés à Detroit. Et par exemple, il se rappelle que Mojo avait, je crois que c'est Dirty Mind qui l'a dit, il avait les albums de Prince bien avant qu'ils sortent. Et puis il s'est mis, parce qu'on arrive à un son new-yorkais, il me semble que c'est à cette époque où il va à New York, donc on écoute d'abord Run DMC et on est avec Jeff Mills.
How y'all feel out there?
Oh, yeah. All right, check this out. 1, 2, 3, in the place to be, as it is plain to see. He is DJ Run, and I am DMC. Funky Fresh for 1983. DJ Jam Master J, inside the place with all the bass. He leaves without a trace, and he came here tonight to get on your case. And we are the crush grooving, the body moving, the record making, and the record breaking. And it goes a little something like this. It goes a 1, 2, 3, And here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. DMC and DJ Run, dum diddy dum diddy diddy dum dum. We're rocking on the mic and then you know where we're from. Dum diddy dum diddy diddy dum dum. We hope y'all ready for the big beat drum. Drum diddy drum drum. So people in the place in the big beat come. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come come. Come on everybody, let's all get down. What we have is a brand new sound. So nobody out there be misled. We make up all these rhymes inside our head. The other MCs cannot compete when we rap on the mic to this big beat. The beat is big, it's kind of large, and when we're on the mic, we're in charge.
It's like that jaw,
That jaw.
like that jaw,
That jaw.
like that other that, I like that jaw.
That jaw.
Cool G brother, I don't drink vodka, but keep a bag of cheaper inside my lung. I go to school every day, on the stomach to pay, cause I'm rocking on the mic until the break all day.
And now the things I do make me a star. And you can be too if you know who you are. Just put your mind to it, you go real far. And the next thing you know, you have a big star.
Listen to the beat that I say, because it's not routine, it's the way I play. Just come out my mouth all time of the day, and then I'm off the time, your Master J.
Hey, they used to call me Easy D because I rapped on the mic so easily. But now they call me DMC. He's DMC of the party. The D's for doing it all of the time. M is for the rhymes that are on mine. C's for cool as can be,
And why you wear those glasses?
so I can see.
So deep rhymes galore. Rhymes that you never even heard before. Now if you say you heard my rhyme, we gonna have to fight, cause I just made the motherfuckers up last night. Kick off your shoes, relax your feet. Party on down till the DJ run beat. The beat to get you up and get you out of your seat. Make you boogie to the song, cause you know it's unique. Wait a tiny minute, don't break on me. My rhymes come faster at the DJ tree. The DJ cut the rhythm from the valley below. Then I boogie your ass till it's time to go. And when it's time to go, girls taking you home. So straighten your dress about your hair, use a comb.
Well, I'm the microphone master, super rhyme maker. I get deaf as the others get flaky. It's me, DMC, in the place to be. And I still got the same old harmony. I'm the devastated mic controller, the word wizard and the chief rock puller. Bad B-boy made for the beat girls. Rock ruler rhymes at the turntable twirls. Supreme people was born to talk. And over any corner rap king Alex
I'm from Alex Creed and the games we play. See these games most every day. People riding around town, slick hot rods, getting paid real well. Don't have jobs, we got pickpocket thieves, gambling man, betting 20 to 1, right against the friend. We got them all out there, doing their best. Play slick games and avoid arrest. Now the games of life are really fun, but you have to play the game until the game is done. So play on.
to the break of dawn as we rock y'all all to the early morn. He's Jam Master J, the big beat blaster. He gets better cause he know he has to. It's 83 and he's a little faster. And only practice makes a real jam master. JMJ are the letters of his name. Cutting and scratching all the aspects of his game. So check out the master as he cuts these jams. Then look at us with the mics in our hands. Then take a count. 1, 2, 3. Jam Master J, front DMC.
Run DMC, comme ils viennent le dire à leur début en 1983. Et d'ailleurs, Jeff nous disait qu'en antenne, c'était probablement le premier, not before the New York DJs, but you mean in Detroit, you were the first one to play Run DMC.
Yeah. A lot of hip hop artists. That was the first one. I mean, not the older stuff like Curtis Blow and stuff. I mean, that was a few more years. But like this, like Profile, all the, Tribe, all this. Yeah, the stuff after
the Def Jam, the early Def Jam.
I played all the stuff on Def Jam. I used to get promos and stuff early, and with everything. I played.
The techno scene wasn't interested in rap music?
Interesting question. No, actually, well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, Juan Atkins, Cybertron, was very popular.
Yeah.
And it was on the radio. It was, Mojo would play it at night, but it wasn't on mainstream radio yet. I was playing it, and other things. And as Detroit techno grew, we all began to play more of it, and eventually it got on to mainstream. But early on, it was considered something that would be more European.
Okay.
The techno stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was considered. No, it wasn't considered soul music. I think Chicago had a lot to do with the help of Detroit techno to become more recognized, because Chicago was red hot. That was the city at the time, even more so than New York at that time. I mean, Chicago was just on fire.
Late 80s, you mean? Mid 80s?
Early to mid to late 80s. Chicago was the city, and everything came. I mean, they had everything. Clubs, artists, hits, the underground thing. They had it all.
You went to Chicago? Did you went to the Music Box? And
my older sister moved from Detroit to Chicago back in the 70s, so she had been there for and so I used to visit her for music and fashion and many other things. I used to go to Chicago. Yeah.
Il nous dit qu'en fait la ville qui a emporté tous les crédits début deuxième moitié des années 80, c'est Chicago. Là, ça a été énorme, même si elle s'effondrait assez vite. Il faut qu'on avance parce que sinon on va pas. You wanted to say something about Run DMC, and I said wait till we are on air.
I mean, as you were playing the track, I remember them coming to Detroit for the first time.
Okay.
I was working for a radio station, and so I had good tickets, so I could, see it. And I remember when they did this track in Detroit and the place just exploded.
Okay.
It just exploded. I can't. That's the word I can just say. It's just nuts.
Il dit qu'il était là quand Run DMC pour la première fois sont venus jouer à Détroit et que les gens sont devenus complètement fous dans la salle. And then you went to New York as a DJ. You played at the Limelight, which is a crazy place when you think. So you were playing. Moby was playing at the same time.
Yeah, Moby was hanging out, and he would play sometimes, but he wasn't a regular there.
But you had Peter Gassien as the boss.
Yeah, he was the big boss.
You had Michael Alec and all the club kids.
Michael Alec was a promoter that did a party on another night.
You seem so cool. And wisdom and
I was in the middle of all that. Yeah, it was
fucked
crazy.
Up on drugs.
It was a mess. Yeah, it was messy.
Je fais une parenthèse, c'est l'histoire, c'est ce film dingue, je vous en parle régulièrement, Party Monster, où on raconte l'histoire tragique des club kids new-yorkais. Ça se terminait dans un bain de sang et c'était des gens assez drôles, mais complètement déviants, mais d'un niveau de déviance qu'on peut pas imaginer. Le patron de ce club, c'était Peter Gassien, qui avait un patch là comme ça sur un œil, et il était vraiment. The Limelight was the church one.
It was a church, and it used to be owned by Andy Warhol.
Okay.
And I think Peter Gassien bought it from Andy Warhol.
Alors en plus c'était dans une église désaffectée. There were drugs everywhere.
No, I shouldn't. No, of course not. No, of course not.
Ça sonne tellement new-yorkais.
Maybe not on the DJ booth.
No, yeah. I don't remember that, but the intensity was insane. I mean, in the DJ booth, it was like 2 stories high in this small little booth, and the return monitors were. It was so powerful that they would lift me off. It would push me from side to side because the power of these monitors was so strong. As I'm playing, I would be pushed, and the place would just be packed with people. That was an eye-opening experience going from Detroit to Manhattan and doing that. Yeah.
Il dit que le son des retours était tellement fort qu'en fait il était en train de se balancer comme ça tellement ça le propulsait. Were you afraid sometimes? Was it a bit too dangerous and too crazy?
Some of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen.
Tell us more.
Strange. I mean, just exotic, and I loved it.
Okay, you enjoyed it.
I did. I loved that. You really had no clue. You could not prepare yourself for what you would see, and that it keeps the blood circulating and creativity, and I lived in Manhattan, and the Limelight was in Midtown, and I think maybe some of the most inspiring times was actually walking from the club to my apartment in the middle of the night when no one else was around. And it was, and I got the most ideas during that time, this walk from the club into just about 4 blocks away.
Alors il dit que c'était vraiment dingue et que oui, de fois ça peut être risqué. Il dit que son souvenir le plus beau, c'était de repartir du Limelight qui était Midtown et de redescendre là où il vivait. And do you knew Funkadelic and all those guys?
Yeah,
were you surprised when he went to the bloodbath?
I knew that we were good friends. We were very good friends. Yeah, we used to talk all the time. And I remember I told him that I just came back from Berlin because I had a trip over there. And he goes, I'm from East Berlin. And I go, no, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah, I escaped over the wall and came to the West and then made my way to New York, and I've been here ever since. And I believed it. And then, later it turns out that he was actually not from
it was the countryside. And
yeah, but, that was the Limelight. That was New York. That was time. And I remember him. I used to go to those parties, and it was madness. And DJ Kiyoki used to do it. Yeah, he was there. And I used to hang out in the booth with him, and we'd just watch everything and everybody, and
it was also maybe not the start, but the drag queen scene was really big too.
That was heavy at the time too. And
RuPaul was
exactly, and Delight and all those groups were just coming at that time. And
I think it was even before RuPaul.
No, but RuPaul was big at the time of the. I know it was before, but
RuPaul was big, but not as big as he would eventually. She would eventually become. But she was big in New York at the time, and that whole scene used to hang out. They used to come on Friday nights, on one of the nights where I used to play there.
Okay, and what kind of stuff were you playing then?
Oh, it was heavy.
Yeah, but
heavy. It was
genre.
Gabba.
You were playing Gabba.
You had to play Gabba at a certain part at that time, but it was
not house music.
It's New York, it's Manhattan, it's there's no place in the world that's going to be more intense than Manhattan
at
on
that
a
time.
Weekend night. It's just, and so they had all the resources and everything to make it the ultimate.
Okay.
So lighting, and they had the best technicians, the best sound system, best everything, and so you just had to hold on, and every night it was heavy. I mean, it was.
Alors imaginez donc,
I mean, we used to push it, I mean, it was too much.
Imaginez du gabber jouer avec plein de drag queens en public, beaucoup de défonces, qu'ils le veuillent ou pas, avec un son qui le... Ouais, ça a mal fini quand même, hein. Je veux pas te dire, va voir les documentaires sur Funkadelic et tout ça. Did you understand the Giuliani thing after? Was it too much? Was New York too much?
Well, I mean, I was there. I was doing in the midst of all this chaos, I was convinced that something was getting lost, and just music, and it got so loud that you didn't hear the music anymore, and so I started. I didn't want to be attached to something that would go off, and then I'd be caught up with that. So I did a about face. I started a record label called Axis, and I started making music that was the opposite in contrast to that, and started making music about concepts and ideas and things, thinking beyond all this chaos.
The chaos, yeah.
And eventually, it died down, and then it opened up a lot of people to music that had more meaning and had purpose.
Yeah, because it seems like the Body and Soul Party is the opposite of what was going on at the Limelight.
Right. It was that was done on purpose. I mean, I was during the day, when I wasn't DJing, I had a lot of resources. I was in Manhattan, so everything was there. So art was there, and all culture, everything was there. So I could research and come up with ideas, and I didn't have many friends, and so I had an apartment and a room full of equipment. That's basically all I had. No furniture or anything, just a chair and synthesizers and drum machines.
Okay.
And that's what I did all day long. So those were the productions, early Trésor, early German type of, it came from that time.
Il dit qu'en fait, ce qu'il a fait, c'est presque l'opposé de ce qui pouvait se passer au Limelight. Je lui ai fait une phrase sur le maire Giuliani, parce que vraiment, il y a eu un changement et ces clubs ont été un peu responsables. Le maire de New York, qui est devenu un gros connard, enfin, qui était déjà très très dur, mais New York a complètement changé. On le sait, lui, il a connu New York quasi taxi driver. Donc, à moitié des années 90, là, ça vraiment, les clubs ont fermé. Il y a eu une répression complète là-dessus. Il y a eu beaucoup moins de drogue.
Senti ça, que ça allait bientôt mourir.
Ça allait trop loin, et lui, il a créé son label Axis, et il est rentré dans quelque chose de beaucoup plus conceptuel pour s'élever au-dessus de ce chaos qui était le chaos new-yorkais des années 90. So, when you go to Europe, you choose Voodoo Rain at 30 years old. When you went to rave in Europe, you was like, oh...
Chill.
I mean, Europe was a paradise.
Okay, hold on. Voodoo Rain. Un amateur de musique de Détroit aime la musique de Manchester. J'avais déjà parlé de ça, il y a de telles connexions, on va pas partir là-dessus, mais entre Détroit et Manchester, c'est une ville industrielle qui ont créé les musiques et les sons du futur. Donc là, il a choisi à 30 ans, il a choisi a guy called Gerald avec Voodoo. So, you were telling us Europe was paradise.
Yeah, I mean, as a DJ to go to a continent and to these countries and go to a club that was designed for techno music was something that we didn't have that in America, and the club would be packed. And everyone would be there because of the music. I mean, that's something that we didn't.
Yeah, in New York, they were going out more than for the music.
It was the weekend, and Manhattan, New York, and everything. But there were techno clubs in Europe, and we were like, "Whoa, okay, in Berlin, who goes to Berlin, right? I mean,
at the time, yeah.
I mean, once we got a sense of that, then, we were, okay, I want to be a DJ, and that's where I have to go. And so you adapted.
You were living in Berlin at that time?
No, I was living, I was going back and forth. So
okay.
9 hours each way. Economy, after the party, direct to the airport, don't sleep. And I was in college, so I would go to Europe on the weekends and then come back on Sunday and then go to school on Monday and then leave on Friday night.
Was the people in Detroit understand what you were doing? I mean, not your friends, techno friends, but the other people. What are you doing in Europe? They understand that?
Mostly, no. No. A few, but for the most part, no.
And you were making money in Europe.
I was making money, yeah. But I was making money, even on radio, and even before radio, I was making. I made the most in the city of Detroit at one moment. I made $125 a night.
Okay, which was great at the time.
That was the highest fee for any DJ in Detroit.
Okay,
So for 5 hours.
But still, you didn't have a lot of good techno clubs. The rave culture was not that big in the US.
No, I mean, even the Music Institute, where Derek and Juan and them used to play, wasn't a techno club. It was just an underground club, and so we still don't have a techno club
in Detroit.
I mean, nothing that that's really.
You make a difference between techno and house when you say that.
Yeah, because house is very established. We have lots of house clubs. There's lots of all over the country. The house is has a lot of foundation, a lot of history. It's connected to jazz and other genres and soul
music. House is more connected to jazz for you than
yeah, for sure. I think so. Yeah, and to gospel and to
for the vocal part
music. Yeah, I mean it's just even the chord structure. I mean, it's if you go to a black church and you watch the keyboard player, not too far from what you would hear from a house track.
The garage. So.
Yeah, it's not in the structure of the music. If you listen to the preacher and you look at the structure of a track, it's almost the same. Introduction, bridge, first verse, second verse.
Okay.
Break, bridge.
And
you listen to them speak, it's the same.
But if I take Herbie Hancock, it looks more close to Techno Detroit than, or maybe it's my point of view.
That's something else. Okay. That's more pop rock, jazz, something like Kraftwerk.
Okay. Alors il dit que la house a un rapport. Moi, j'avais jamais entendu cette take exactement, mais il l'explique bien. Hein. Il dit que c'est un rapport avec le jazz et notamment. Alors ça, je suis d'accord sur la part, ce qu'on appelle le garage. Donc là, c'est très vocal et ça vient directement, évidemment, du gospel. Et il dit que c'est les mêmes accords finalement. Et donc il dit qu'il y a des clubhouse aux États-Unis. Par contre, des véritables clubs techno, non, il y en a pas. What is your still or maybe from all time your favorite European club? Is it an English one, a French one, a Berlin one?
Club.
Yeah.
Probably the Tresor in Berlin, because what was going on there, and it was just about the music, nothing else. No chairs, no, not really a bar, just someone serving over there serving drink. No coat check. It was just a basement with rusty walls and rusty shelves and no ventilation, and 2 turntables and a mixer and huge speakers.
And
that was it. And maybe 1 strobe light. That was it.
Is it still your favorite? Because it has changed a lot.
No, I mean now I have lots of favorite.
But you go back to the Treasure. You still play there.
No, I don't go so much. Berlin changed, in my opinion, a lot.
Too much?
So
It changed too much?
yeah, it's too many conditions. I don't know. I like to be
now.
more free.
Ouais, vers ventilators.
Yeah.
Il dit que son club préféré d'Europe, c'était, parce qu'il en parle un peu au passé, c'était le Trésor à Berlin, parce que c'est vrai que lui, il date vraiment des années 90, parce qu'il n'y avait rien d'autre que de la techno, il n'y avait même pas de chaise, il y avait à peine un ventilateur et des strobes. Et lui, pour le coup, ne se sent, enfin, on va pas développer ça, mais visiblement, il se sent moins à l'aise avec ce qu'est devenu Berlin et l'explosion de Berlin de ces 20 dernières années. Il doit partir dans un petit quart d'heure, donc on va avancer. Alors c'est marrant, parce qu'à 40 ans, donc à 30 ans, il écoutait Voodoo, à 40 ans, il nous a mis à 40 et à son âge maintenant, il écoute Steely Dan. Were you listening to Steely Dan when you were a teenager, or you discovered the band more?
I was listening to Steely Dan this morning.
Oh yeah, but you didn't discover it.
It's like the default. It's like it's this. It's these albums in that group that has been my entire life.
Okay.
Since junior high school.
So you bought the record at the time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, Asia was
everywhere.
The album. Yeah. And you studied it. And I was a drummer at the time. So, and I was in bands, and we were all trying to play and trying to figure out, how they were putting this incredible music together. It seems simple, but you listen to it and it's just incredible. And so I've listened to this particular album more than anything, and I still listen to it more than anything.
So you wake up in the morning and you play Steely Dan?
I in my car, in the house, at night, all the time.
And you play Steely Dan in DJ set sometimes? No, it's for your own pleasure.
No, I don't play it. But yeah.
Steely Dan, et il nous disait hors antenne que pour lui que c'était la musique parfaite, c'était aussi une époque, les années 70, où on prenait le temps d'enregistrer un album, où il y avait beaucoup d'argent, on faisait des budgets, donc ils pouvaient choisir les meilleurs musiciens, et tout ça donnait cette musique qu'ils trouvent toujours aussi magique. You listen to music a lot?
A lot.
A lot.
I listen to a lot of music.
Okay. On which material?
Mostly on vinyl and CD. It depends on which room I'm in or what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But yeah, it's either those two formats.
Okay, vinyl or CD. Do you like silence too, or silence frightens you?
Yes, and I can God, how can I say? I can author silence. In other words, I can use silence almost as much as I can use sound. And I can recognize the two, and it's about the same.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Il dit que c'est aussi important le silence que le son. Il le traite comme un son dans sa tête. The story which happens between you and me, maybe you don't remember, but I always bring it back because it's a story I love. I booked you once on a boat in Paris on an Été d'Amour party, and you were DJing only disco music.
Oh yeah,
and
with Francois.
Yeah, no, François was not there.
Okay.
That day was not there, and you were playing on vinyls, disco music, and you had two kids in the front who was asking you for techno all the time. And we put on the flyer it's going to be a disco set, and they were really boring, and and at what point you turn back to me and you say, how much is the party? And I say, it's 10 euros, and you put 10 euros out of your pocket and you put it back at the face of the guy, so no, fuck off and leave that place.
I apologize for those two
gentlemen
right. There.
You were right. But, well, I mean, it's crazy. It looks like fan of you, but they don't want to hear your influences, and they don't want to hear...
I don't know. Maybe just not music lovers,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up with putting conditions on music, so yeah. I mean, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah.
And is it boring? Sometimes people asking like, you get to it when we do some jazz thing or classical thing. If you have somebody,
they need more time to mature and to grow up a little bit. To recognize that genres are only just for convenience. We call them things, but basically music is all the same. And I mean, it was given to us by major labels because they need to sell, they need to make the difference between. But
as a DJ, it's easy too to have genre.
Well, I mean, it's just not that important. I think we have made too much of it, and we kind of divide things. It's
especially in America, maybe.
Yeah.
For the radio.
Yeah, I mean, because that's big business and money, and you have to carve out your audience and over 35 and all this. It's not really. The truth is that music has always been just music, and it never really made any difference. Really,
Though you say that, but earlier you said, well, the Treasure was a pure techno club, and
on the definition of what techno was in 1991, 92, and in contrast to what rave was, it was the stark different. It was the complete opposite.
Oh, how come? What was so different between?
I mean, it was just a hole, and it was a hole large enough for about 500 people, and in that hole you had 2 turntables and a mixer, maybe one strobe light, restrooms, but I'm not so sure, and it was. But it was all night.
Musically, what was the difference between what you were playing in a rave what you?
Well, I mean, I was not only playing techno, but I was playing a lot of house, a lot of Chicago house. I was playing post disco, a lot of obscure stuff that would just mix into creating a more colorful type of DJ set. And we don't talk so much about it. We keep using this word techno as if it was everything, but actually certain DJs of a certain generation always played various things. Like the other night, I played Fleetwood Mac, World Turning. The audience had no clue what that was. You know?
It seems for me the New York guy, like Danny Krivit and people like that, are really playing everything.
Yeah, but you do it well, and you want to make it smooth, and you fit it in a way that it seems like it's house music but actually it's rock.
Oui, alors le but du jeu, c'est d'arriver à faire croire que c'est de la house ou de la techno alors que tu peux être en train de jouer du Fleetwood Mac. C'est ça qui peut l'amuser. Who's your favorite DJ, by the way?
Favorite DJ?
Yeah.
DJ Cash Money.
Okay. Still is, or you mean back in the time?
Well, okay, that's a trick question. Back in the day, it was God, man. I mean, it was Grandmaster DST. It was
so hip hop DJ.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to make a genre.
Yeah, I mean, I go back many different generations and generations of DJs. Larry Levan.
So you've never been to the garage?
I've never met him, but I heard some recordings and
okay.
Yeah, I mean, many for many different reasons. You know, not just, but for many different things. Great programmers, these great technical DJs. Great DJs with foresight and crowd awareness and quality of music, programming. There's certain DJs that do that very well.
And who's your favorite jazz artist?
Yep. Jazz artist? Miles. Miles Davis, probably. Because he... did so. Thelonious Monk.
Thelonious is what we're gonna play.
Yeah, because of just the universe that he.
You saw them live?
No. That was before my.
Yeah.
Did
you saw? Yeah, I guess you saw a legendary jazz. Sonny Rollins just died.
Well, my older brother was a sound engineer for jazz concerts in Detroit in the 80s, and he used to sneak me into the concerts, and I would have to stay with him on the sound in the console. But he would let me sometimes put the jails in the lights on the stage. So I would get the ladder and put it in blue, and so I would meet artists when they were doing sound checks. So I met like B.B. King. I met Herbie Mann. I met Roy Ayers. I met a few other artists, because I was so young, and they were wondering whose kid is this, So they would say something to me, and I would, yeah.
Alors, on rappelle que pour les amateurs de jazz aussi, il sera justement à Jazz à Vienne, et ça sera donc à la ville de Vienne en France. J'ai mis des années à comprendre que c'était
oui,
pas
c'est pas très clair.
C'est pas très. On est nuls en géographie, toi et moi.
Moi, je suis très mauvaise en géographie.
Moi aussi, mais pour les gens qui habitent Vienne en France, ils apprécient ce que tu viens de dire.
Vienne en France.
Là, ça sera du 25 juin au 11 juillet, et vous pourrez retrouver Jeff Mills. One last word about Thelonious Monk, since we're gonna play Thelonious Monk track. One word about him.
Yeah, just wonderful. That's the key word. We play. We're happy to come back and to play. And yeah.
No, I mean, but Thelonious Monk. Maybe my English isn't really not good.
Not about the festival, about the band Thelonious Monk.
About the artist. Thelonious Monk.
That we're gonna play.
Up. It's right there. How do you say it in English? Come on. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Thelonious Monk.
Well,
oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Thelonious Monk. Or just Monk.
Okay, Monk.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
One word about Monk.
Yeah. Oh.
Wonderful.
Something I don't even think I'm qualified to say, because I'm still learning. I'm still learning it for years now, listening to his approach, and I actually steal a lot of things and put it in electronic music. The way he approaches chord structures and things, and Blue Monk is something I'd studied a lot. Broke it down into different parts, and try to imagine what that sounds like on a synth, and trying to create that. And so I thought that is one.
Merci beaucoup, Jeff Mills.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alors, j'ose plus lire. Do you want to announce it because my English is not that
sure.
good?
Yeah, this is Blue Monk by Thelonious Monk.
Club à retrouver en podcast sur nova.fr.